Okay, hello everyone. We are gonna be trying, trying to learn the glories of the Mage the Ascension system, and may the gods have mercy on our souls. So we're gonna be starting with character creation. The party are gonna be playing more experienced mages than the book suggests. So everyone's gonna be starting with essentially 100 XP on top of the standard creation rules. And they will be able to use that XP to take their, however you pronounce that, arret. Essentially the casting stat above 3 with experience, so they'll be able to cast higher end magics. If you are lost when you look at us playing this, or screaming at the screen, you're doing it wrong, we know. We feel your pain. And then kindly take it where the sun don't shine, because we are past caring. Just reading the book has slain our souls, and we are fallen creatures now, trudging through an endless hell of misery and pain.
I mean, it's
In
accurate.
other words, go fuck
Yeah.
yourselves. You don't care if we're wrong.
That was very dramatic.
It's
And
fucking
yet,
true.
truthful.
What the fuck did I put? Untruthful.
So,
What the
are we
fuck
gonna
did I
discuss all the
place?
optional stuff the book mentioned?
Yes. Seriously though, I lied. Pick a better
No,
fucking
I know.
token
I'm
picture.
I'm trying to find a proper token picture. Trust me.
Okay. So there's a bunch of
Actually, great.
optional stuff in there. The most obvious one that comes to mind. We are playing in 2001, a couple of days before the Twin Towers happened. The Avatar Storm is still happening. That optional rule is in. I will change how the damage is calculated, I think, because you being more skilled at magic, making it hit you harder doesn't really seem that sensible to me. But I haven't decided 100% on how I want to do it.
Okay.
So, any other optional rules you want me to tell you about specifically?
You said something about that skills one, where you have to be skillful with your focus.
Yes, that's something we need to discuss. So, for those watching, if, for example, someone uses esoteric knowledge, mystical symbols, or I don't know, color magic correspondences, or whatever, to cast their spells and focus their magic, they would need an understanding of how that works. So you would need the appropriate skill at a comparable level to the level of magic you're trying to cast. That being said, other things like using blood, for example, wouldn't require that. So I suggest that we do use this rule, and we do rely on those skills, but at the same time that everyone picks at least half of their tools as something that doesn't necessarily require a skill to use. And that way we can have that rule and still remain functional even if we run into something that we don't have, or if we want to cast something at a higher level than we currently have an appropriate skill or whatever. Okay, any other optional rules?
I mean, there were like 5 different ones. I don't know.
Well, ask about what you want to know about that will affect your choices in character creation first.
I'm having a hard time remembering them all. It's
Having
kind
a
of
hard time
slog
remembering anything.
after reading
Words
them.
are hard, yo.
Nightfolk, namely vampires and werewolves, will be able to counter your magic. Werewolves will be able to attempt it based on Gnosis or Rage. I think I might just die to Gnosis, but no promises on that. Vampires, if they know some kind of a mystical discipline, I think, either counter magic specifically, which I'm gonna allow them to use that to try and block your magics with the Wits Occult, as the book suggests, or Thaumaturgy or Necromancy or Coldonism, but ones that are like Bruja thugs and who don't have any kind of Thaumaturgy, I think we're gonna go with being unable to resist. Except if they have Fortitude, they can just spend blood to automatically soak direct damage kind of stuff. But Thaumaturgists can try now undo magic that targets them directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
sensible.
Bolt roll them. It's limited by willpower for them, right? For vampires.
Yes, again, I might adjust it based on Thaumaturgy level, but Thaumaturgy level might be something that adjusts the difficulty. So, for example, if they're trying to block a higher sphere, it might increase their difficulty. If they're trying to block... Okay, as an example, you have forces, or let's say Mind 3, right? And they know that you're casting magic on them. And they have Thaumaturgy 4, they might get a decrease of 1. Even if you're just casting a Mind 2 effect, it would still only be the difference of a -1, because you would have that sphere at a higher level than you're actually using. Much like wards with Thaumaturgy, take into account your full Thaumaturgy rating, not the Thaumaturgy rating that you actually needed to have as a minimum to cast it. So yeah, that would be a thing. What else comes to mind? The technocracy and the traditions might be infiltrated by the Nefandi to some extent. You don't know. As far as the technocratic victory is concerned, the technocracy has or had the upper hand until the recent Avatar Storm, but the war isn't completely lost, so it's leaning heavily in their favor as far as the conflict between traditions and technocracy is concerned.
Didn't they declare their victory like?
Well, yes, but that doesn't mean they have fucking won craft. It's one of the
I know.
optional settings.
I'm
But
just-
yes, they declared they'd won, and then everything went to shit again.
Yeah, then they fucked up and lost.
Oh, we've won again. Ah, fuck, we jinxed it. That seems to sum up just this entire like world in every capacity. You know that? We've won. Ah, we've made a mistake.
Put all our eggs in one basket. Then the basket broke apart into 2 million
Okay.
tiny pieces.
Before we get sidetracked, because we are gonna aim for like maybe 3 and change hours with each of these sessions, Jacklor, can you think of an optional rule we need to address?
XP from halved XP on the life and changing attributes.
I'm gonna nix that. You can modify yourself and others, and that will manifest as appropriate permanent paradox or bioflaws. But I'm not gonna give you essentially an XP discount, because that way lies madness.
I'm
Question.
sad now.
Can you use life to temporarily increase your attributes, like in logical bounds? So like you're actually 3, but you temporarily increase yourself to 4.
Yes,
On
that's a
your
separate
side.
thing. That's just a
Yeah.
spell.
That just being because of Delta magic.
I was talking about permanent stuff.
Yeah, you're using magic to like or life sphere to actually
Make
Again.
yourself look pretty.
Allied, can you think of an optional rule we haven't addressed yet that matters?
How much each human being? Oh, you said optional rule, but I guess that's a homebrew, so I guess it doesn't matter now that I think about it. No, not off the top of my head.
Well, what are you gonna say? Oh, right.
About the quintessence, like from the quintessence chart where like a human's worth like 10 quintessence if they're fully grown adults, and you're kind of just cutting all that in half, if not more, per.
Yeah, because I do not want you to depopulate the village, and I don't want you to I don't want you to depopulate the village with too little effort.
Why would we kill the people next door? Is my question. You always you always kidnap people that are far away from your house.
Anyway, my point is that I want to play a magic poor world. The node is gonna have a trickle of magic, not a, complete flood, and people are gonna have, and animals are gonna have less quintessence that you can melt them down for, but supernaturals are gonna stay at recommended levels. So you catch a weird creature, and that's worth like 5 humans.
Yay, melting down rare creatures.
Or you just capture 5 humans because they're easier and won't fight back nearly as hard.
Epic wants to know what it would take to slam a satellite into the city. To that, I would like to answer, go fuck yourself. You had a chance to volunteer for this.
What would this thing to send the satellite down to the city?
It depends.
Pattern correspondence?
You
Pretty sure it would be correspondence for forces.
Thing is, what you really need is to have to determine how much forces you need, and then you need correspondence and at least equal level to reach that far.
Makes sense.
It's part of the book. The amount of magic you can project through correspondence, sphere level wise, is limited by your correspondence. So a forces 4 effect would always require you to also have correspondence for if you want to do it at a distance.
Hey, I was right then. Fuck yeah.
So yeah.
I'm a wizard.
That being said, orbital velocities involve a lot of kinetic energy. So forces 4, prime 2, and correspondence 4 seems reasonable to just create enough of a change in direction to slam it into an appropriate spot.
I apologize. You said correspondence, force, and what was the third one you said?
Correspondence, forces, and prime, because you're trying to create kinetic energy. In theory.
Couldn't you just pull it with force and correspondence?
Well, that would be creating kinetic energy.
Yeah, but but why would prime be needed there? It just seems like an unnecessary additional sphere.
Because you're creating the kinetic energy out of nothing in theory. Though you might be a... God fucking damn it, Dropbox. Fuck off. Anyway, fuck the spheres. I think it would require Prime 2 as well, but it might be possible to do it without it. But if you just want to add enough of a push from one side, then you would need it.
Huh. Alright. That just seems weird.
Anything that
Yeah.
creates something new is gonna require Prime. Forces lets you amplify or alter existing forces, but if, for example, you're summoning heat out of nothing in order to melt stone, that's gonna require Prime as well to just create raw
amplifying
energy.
The atmosphere around the thing, right, to bring it down.
There isn't much of an atmosphere up that high, Craft.
Yeah, I mean, you have forces 4. You can amplify shit a lot.
Well, yes, but you wouldn't be amplifying atmosphere at that point. That would require matter. If you were fucking with atmosphere.
Then you can just replace one of them with matter.
Well, no, the issue ends up you're still with 3 different spheres instead of just 2.
Anyway, any other optional rules we need to address?
Probably the math is hard one.
This is gonna this would depend a lot on the mage who's casting it and what they believe about what they're doing. So a witch casting a summoning spell to draw the satellite to the city at high speed might be doing it differently from someone who's doing a reality hack.
I'm in.
So yeah. Is that all the optional rules?
No, we're close, but I can't find any other.
Okay, what was the small mercy you wanted allied?
Alright, so I remembered, which is impressive. So I want some information about like so we don't just walk in and just go, ah shit, we fucked everything up already. Like we have some idea as to the badness
In the node
of
or around? Because I think
mean,
we ended up deciding yesterday that you wanted to know about what's hiding in the depths of the node. But
I mean, I'm fine with half the party dying just getting through the fucking Portuguese traps. I'd rather know what's in the node before we touch it.
okay. Alright, so the node and what you know about it. You know that you can say that you got attracted to this place when but when news came across essentially your desks about an archaeologist team from either Europe or North America, whichever one you decide you're gonna be from, having decided to fuck off talking about horrible happenings and abandoning their dig project. And after that, you would have been able to look back through records and seen essentially records of over the past 50 or so years, every 5, 10, 15 years, just like some kind of a small spike of energy from here that someone has noticed and recorded. And
As
people
in magical energy or
magical,
like,
yes, like a wellspring temporarily erupting.
Okay.
And beyond that, you know that it used to be a Portuguese fort, which at some point was abandoned and left the fuck alone. You know there's a small village nearby, as far as knowing what nastiness is there, after having in some way looked at it from a distance. You know 3 things. There is spirit activity surrounding it.
Oh fuck.
There is a strong force of stasis around it.
Oh, a strong force of stasis.
And there is a trace of corruption somewhere underneath all that.
Is there a fucking earthbound inside of the node?
You don't know that yet out of character, but maybe.
Yeah. I don't know anything.
I think
So-
Jackalor's wheels are already churning. Share with the class what you think this place is.
Might be have something to do with the Nefandi,
Mm-hmm.
The Fondi?
but other than that, I don't really know.
The spirit
Funny,
activity would probably be the most noticeable thing.
Oh, no, actually, that would be...
An old pit. It could be an old pit.
You said spirit activity, right?
Mm-hmm. There are active spirits there, existing
Or-
essentially in the periphery of the normal world and in the penumbra in this spot. Not so.
Were these spirits like cool cats, or were they like your baby's been kidnapped?
You would know. What you would know is that it's not spirits drifting in and out of here, more so as a steady presence, which is what would have essentially made it discoverable, because a jungle like this, there's gonna be a lot of spirits drifting through. Several of them
Okay,
staying
that
on the
makes
same
sense.
spot, on a presumed dead node, that's enough to be noticed, if barely. Little weird.
Hmm.
Alright, we'll just chalk that down as guards in the notes.
Are they evil or are they good kids?
Well, we're
You
gonna
don't
fucking
know.
find
You would
out.
have to
Yeah, no.
figure that out once you can actually talk to them.
Or subjugate them like they, like how we're supposed to.
Oh, free quintessence!
Yeah, no, literally. You dare stand in my way? Hey guys, look at what I got, Tass.
God damn it.
They're not people. It's not a war crime or a human rights violation. They're spirits.
Not
Bring me
to
up-
humans! Werewolves have a different opinion.
I mean, bring me up to the fucking werewolf tribunal then. I'll defend myself. Yeah, no, they were evil. How do
Okay,
I
they
know
put
that?
you in front of a werewolf tribunal. The elders rule that you shall undergo trial by combat versus their worm foe.
Alright. Fuck it, let's do it.
You're so going to die horribly, allied. You're so
Look,
going to get us
I
all
at least
killed.
got a chance to prove my innocence. I just gotta kill a couple of werewolves and probably hand-to-hand combat by myself. That's no big issue, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Okay, any other questions about the node?
I mean, do
gotta-
we have an idea how strong it is?
Um. Yes, which is why you would have come here in the first place. You will know specifically, but out of character, it's at an 8. In character, you would judge it somewhere between the look, like a 7 to up to as high as potentially a 10, depending on how you
Ooh.
can get it to work. So you would have a reason to come here.
It's our
Yeah.
portion. Ours.
This is character creation Emperor, but it's also whether they know this or not kind of would affect what skills they would pick up out of character, and I'm giving them the mercy of letting them know just the
You
basic
should
premise.
That knows Portuguese.
Yes,
Do we
that's
really
a
need to
merit.
know what?
I think I
Knowing
might pick
portion.
that up.
Oh, I think we can move on to characters. Why don't we go around the circle and give us a tradition, give us a basic character concept, and give us in just like 2 or 3 sentences a basic overview of their beliefs about how magic works and what lets them do the things they do. Just as a quick overview, and we'll go in more detail about specific instruments after that, right? So, Jackalor, why don't we start with you, because you seem to have made something.
I made something. I'm not even sure I like this character, but whatever.
You can rearrange
well,
things if you have a
yeah.
better concept.
I don't. But yeah, my tradition is verbena, which is effectively witches in huts that do curses and help.
Help people. Is that what you call it
Yes.
when you sacrifice babies?
They're not
Well, it
babies.
was for a good cause.
They're quintessence. They're not babies.
Oh no.
I did I even ask?
Try to frame my defend it.
My character is somewhat like a mystic in a cave. You know, like those old-timey guys. Old men, beards, living in caves, doing cave shit. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling.
So you sit in a cave and you fap. I think that's
Yes.
not verbena. You might need to switch to the Cult of Ecstasy.
Hey, sex is totally a thing that's verbena do.
Sure.
Oh yes, I'm summoning the spirits.
Oh no, they're hostile!
No, no. My offering wasn't good enough for them. Let's not go down that road.
So, if you're Mystic sitting in a
Stealing
cave, retainers, Jackalor?
I don't know what I was.
He's a hippie colony.
That's a cult, not retainers.
Yes, that is a cult, not retainers.
Okay. That works. Okay. Allied, you have an idea.
Yeah, totally, sure. Uh, uh,
Have you picked a tradition?
yes. I am going virtual adapt actually.
Okay.
I will be going the hacker man of the world.
Nerd.
Go fuck yourself.
Mr. Hacker Man.
All right. Okay. What was the other parts of this question besides your tradition?
Okay, what is your concept and what is your basic belief about the world?
I don't. How can I phrase this properly? My guy, like the concept of my guy is like somebody that's trying to get to like the base code of magic.
Okay.
Like he wants to find out like what holds all of the rest of the code together, like
Oh,
and why everything is the way it is. What?
That's the path that Malkov walked when he wasn't insane yet.
Well,
Look, it's fine. With knowledge comes great responsibility. I can have the greatest responsibility with this knowledge. Just
Okay.
let me find the source code.
I don't
But,
think
you know,
we adequately looked into Jackalor's idea about how his magic works specifically.
Well, it's about changing how life is. Like all life is a part of a web, and you have to tug at some of the strings to change it.
Okay. And what about you, Allied?
Repeat that, because like Discord, my shit cuts out here.
Okay, what are your beliefs about your own magic? What is it that lets you affect reality? What are you doing to make magic happen? What's the idea behind it?
I am just accessing the code that's already there
Okay,
and
Nature
using
is
that
essentially a machine.
to modify things.
excellent. Pen, why don't we go on to you?
oh no. I have a character sheet, but not really a character.
Okay,
I mean, it's a start.
have you picked a tradition?
No.
You should totally pick the
Wait,
totally not
really?
Space Jedi.
Okay,
You're the one that was farther.
I think Ben decided to change things at the last second, so that's fine. We'll circle back around to you and we'll help you pick something that fits, okay?
Okay.
Nyaxi, tell us a story.
I mean, yeah, I switched away from the sex mage to a
Aw.
different concept.
You deeply
This is the
disappoint
best-
me, Nyaxi.
This is the best place to be a sex mage.
No, I wanted to go more physical, so it's combat magic now, and I went with the most enlightened tradition, the Order of Hermes.
The
And
farmers?
Order of
yeah, I mean, I could
Hermes.
of Hermes, yeah.
Order of Hermes.
I hope there
I mean,
aren't
I could
any
still,
Tremere around looking for recruits.
and basically, the belief is that in the world is like full of limits and barriers, but those are just illusionary and basically they're to be overcome.
Okay, and so I'm assuming it's gonna be a lot of high ritual and ordeals for you to do magic then.
I actually went with a more unorthodox approach. That's kind of borrowing from like also from Eastern traditions, where you try to ascend with your body and mind, basically.
Okay,
So to do magic,
well, you
um,
get at the very least, well, each of you will have to pick at least 7 tools, so I'm assuming the high ritual is gonna be there. Among them, it's just not gonna be very high on the list.
yeah, probably.
Since, you know, I don't know, it would seem weird for me to have Hermetic that has none in it, essentially.
Yeah,
But okay, yeah, that's good. Bingo.
Tradition. I'm probably going with the Brotherhood.
Okay,
Oh, so you did go with the fucking Space Jedi.
the Kashyyyk
Space
Brotherhood.
Jedi? No, and my character would then be a martial artist, channeling his chi to change the world around him. So no quintessence here, boy. It's all chi. It's all life force.
It's fine, that's how you can get life force when you melt down mortals.
Well,
Perhaps it's
life
really
would
life
probably be
force.
my primary sphere. It doesn't have to be, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going with that. And
Are you gonna
2015,
try and
my
pick up...
intrinsic is
Are you gonna try and pick up Doe, that bullshit martial arts thing?
probably yeah.
Okay, Craft has one curse point. Essentially, it's like a destiny point, but it lets me kill him.
Oh no.
Hey, I'll be able to fight werewolves fair and square. I believe
Well, here comes the end.
somebody has
The
to
end of our
1v1 the
journey.
werewolves, okay? None of the other fucks will, right?
I mean, I can, maybe.
I can
Okay,
with
so
the
2v2.
werewolves.
There we go. See? That's good.
Except there are 6 werewolves in the pack that owns this territory.
But we challenged them to a 1v1 duel, honorable duel. Surrounding and ganging up on people is not honorable.
There's like
Werewolves are
3
honorable.
Ragabash in that pack. What do you
God
think are
damn,
the
bro.
chances of an honorable duel happening?
Just fucking find the Arun and challenge him. He'll say yes straight away.
Except
Clearly we
Jackal or roll for that pack's composition. There isn't a single Arun in there.
Why are you like this, Jackal?
Why do you hate the team?
Then we negotiate, of course.
Okay,
Yes, we negotiate with the werewolves.
Honorable diplomacy, right?
Negotiation, don't you mean death?
so Ben,
Hmm.
Well, why don't we start with what your idea for the character is and maybe what kind of magic you feel would best fit here in terms of how you see the world, and then we can fit a tradition that fits that and what you want to do.
Okay, I know those things.
Excellent, let's start with that.
My character believes that magic is a force to be willed, and through her belief in her power and other people's belief in her, she's going to, use magic and stuff. Something belief.
That's the order of
Oh.
Hermes right there.
So you're the choir.
No. We got like, I don't know. Light me on fire. I have no idea what's going on.
What?
Okay, so essentially you are
I have
sending
a concept. Look.
you are
Look,
sending
look,
your
look, look.
intentions out into the world to make things happen, is how I understood it. So expect a lot of symbology and ways to express yourself would be part of the things you use as tools. In theory.
I don't know. Maybe I should go with rituals and unraveling the secrets of the universe through ritual and like cult magic.
This actually kind of works as is. It's not a bad concept, it's just that these other cunts suck and even I barely understand mage. No, I'm just making sure that that's what you intended, right? Because if you want to make a mage that focuses on sending their intentions out and manifesting magic that way, that is perfectly fine. It's something we can work with and figure out the tools and everything, together. We'll make it work.
Is this the part where I say okay?
This is the part where you smile and nod. Yeah.
Or if I'm completely missing what you're going for, then say so and we'll work through it.
Her concept is spooky cult leader lady.
Nothing he said says that you're not still that.
I wanted to focus on like meditation and belief and ritual and like spooky stuff. I don't know.
Is it focused on essentially some kind of divine force, or is it directed more towards your own will?
My own will and other people's belief in my ability to do things.
Okay.
Esoteric.
It's why I have 2 dots in cult. Those people believe in me.
Okay. That is definitely not Celestial Chorus. It might be either the Cult of Ecstasy, it might be a Euthanatus, or it might be Order of Hermes. I think. In terms of traditions. Might be Dream Speakers, but less so, since that focuses more on a symbiosis with the spirit world than on my will be done kind of stuff. So you have Prime and Spirit as the real cool stuff. I think your best bet is the Euthanatus and just play a Death Mage. I think that might fit best. Unless you want to also rearrange your spheres to take advantage of another group's focus.
I think I'll be fine with... Wait a second. I don't need spirit to be my affinity sphere, do I?
It will make it easier because you're gonna have... Your affinity sphere essentially means that you have a special tool that's personalized for use with that sphere. So when you use that tool to cast spirit, you get the reduced difficulty. It essentially translates to the affinity sphere being slightly easier to use if you have all your shit with you.
Okay, I guess I'll just go with Euthanatos.
Okay. Okay. Please fill in the Cabal line with hopeless fuck-ups, everyone.
No.
Fucking excuse me.
I. That's not my cabal.
Done.
Cabal is the name of the group you are part of. You are the hopeless fuck-ups.
I know. I am a will worker. I bend the world to my will. Fuck you. I'm not a fuck.
Jackalor is as dumb as a brick and about as strong as one in muscle mass. Ben it has a creepy death cult.
Hey.
Allied is busy chugging energy drinks and trying frantically to understand the base code of reality and the virus that is killing it. And Nyaxi is just looking forward to casting Sword at the werewolf, which is probably how his career ends.
Don't cast Sword at the werewolf. I will fucking cut you.
No, cast silver on the werewolf, obviously. Come
But
on.
Jax, my sword is my special tool.
Fuck you.
It sure is, honey.
Why?
Who was Craft was the one that picked the fucking Jedi?
Yep. And Kraft is essentially the cursed member of the party. We do not speak of him. He will not be with us long.
What have I done to you?
You said you're gonna pick Doe.
What's wrong with no?
Everything.
Okay. How do we wish to proceed with this? Should we move on to tools?
Or
Okay, Jackalor, head on to the notes section of your character sheet. There's a inline one.
yeah. I see
And you can write down your tools there. Now, I'm gonna want a tool and your character's belief about that tool and how it ties to their magic, preferably in one, maybe two sentences. So, for example, I don't know, you might feel that music is what you normally use, like drum beats and such, to connect with mind magic or something, or that in order to heal, you have to draw a bit of your own blood, etc., etc., etc.
Draw blood is press against the wound of the person I'm trying to heal.
Not necessarily in such detail, but essentially, what I want is an idea as to how you would, under normal circumstances, be using that tool.
My fucking computer crashed.
That's because you suck too much.
Yes.
God fucking damn it.
Suddenly, fucking Kraft has a voice. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear him now. He's actually way louder than before. I
Yeah.
actually hear him. So could I have like say a staff that was carved out of the living trunk of a tree?
Okay, so there is a list of potential tools
Which
in starting from 586. No, that's wrong. Shit, let me find it. Yeah, no, 586 it starts talking about beliefs, and after that we get to various tools. Common instruments
five-
starts on 588.
Yeah, there's also a short list on page 567. That's
560.
just the names.
Okay, excellent. So, stuff like, God's fucking damn it. Mage! Wands and staves. Wands and staves is gonna be what you write in here, Jackalor, because that's the actual grouping of tools, and what you're talking about is a specific item that's personalized to you, potentially.
Okay, so wands and staves, and then I write how I use it.
Yes, just give us an idea as to what kind of stuff your Verbena would feel that kind of tool helps with. This could take forever.
Yeah, this will fucking take forever. So, like, say, wands and staves, and then I write. It helps with communicating with nature, and thus changing nature.
Just write it down as helps communing with nature. Okay, that perfectly works.
Yay! 1 out of 7. Holy shit, I am going to die horribly now. Which page did you say the tools were on? 588?
566 is the short list. The rest is just long descriptions of what it actually means. I think something that might help is, well, blood and fluids, bones and remains, and brews and concoctions are all good picks for Verbena.
I think blood, yeah. Like, say, drawing blood and then having that blood spill into, like, a wound.
Can I take blood and then when I bite into the werewolf's neck and suck its blood, I gain power from it?
No, that's called being a undead abomination craft.
That would mean I have to kill you.
Can I steal his blood and then use it for rituals and seeds?
If you have correspondence, yes. You can use it to target it on them very easily.
Alright.
There are some interesting ones. Blood and fluids, Jackalor. Bodily fluids, in other words. Rubin are fucking disgusting.
Yes, they are. Verbena are disgusting.
Okay. And how would you use blood? Not necessarily what kind of spells, but what is your belief about blood?
Blood holds power. It is the essence of life.
Okay, excellent. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can already imagine where this would go if Nyaxi was playing this character.
Wow. Wow.
Okay. Let's see what else could be good. Not sure about eye contact, but that could work as well. Cards and instruments of chance, again, a little less so. Blessings and curses, though, is classic witchcraft type stuff.
Yeah. Blessings and
Blessings and curses, essentially, you know, yelling at someone, you shall have bad luck for the next year and your cat will die.
yeah. Especially cat dying.
To where it was like, I don't even own a cat. He finds a cat after the battle. He's like, oh, look at this cat, and fucking dies on him.
Neighbor sees you sneaking away with a bloody knife, looks down, the cat is dead. You look back, told you so.
Yeah, like just steely-eyed. I fucking told you, man.
I used the knife to cast a death spell on the cat.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Blessings and curses. Uh,
Okay. And what do you believe about blessings and curses?
that uttering like profanities at someone will actually like cause them bad stuff to happen.
Okay, so essentially, like when you say something with real meaning behind it, emotionally, it can leave a mark, kind of thing.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I think so. Everyone else isn't just waiting on their asses while we work out all seven, but then we're gonna start going around the circle and circle back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so, um, who's ready to go next? Who has ideas? Wow, that silence. Allied, you're up.
Ah, fuck. This is another fucking Anschluss.
Yes, it is. It always has been.
Alright, so how many of these do I need to have?
You need a total of 7, but for now we can pick out like 3.
Really
There
want
are
nanomachines.
there are obvious ones like computer gear. If you're playing, since you're playing Virtual Adept.
Yeah, I was thinking like fuck, it's 2001, right?
Yep.
Let me think back to the ye olden days of the brick phone. No wait, that's too far. There were PDAs around in 2001, right?
One of your
Sure.
tools is spam emails.
No, why would I use spam emails? Nobody has a fucking like email address here in this country.
Well, essentially, you're thinking too specifically. Computer gear in general would be your tool. And then, if you don't have your personal, PDA, you could work from someone else's computer. You just wouldn't get the bonuses from using a tool that's, configured for you. You would still be able to cast it from a random dude's PDA, essentially. And what are your character's beliefs about computer gear? How does that tie into the magic?
It lets me more easily access the source code because I just jack in directly into it.
That's a separate thing. That's a computer brain interface.
Oh fuck me. Wait, no. Wouldn't that be? Wait, wouldn't that be if I have it jack into me and then I jack into the net?
You going through the internet and through a normal computer would be using computer gear. If you also have had brain computer interface as part of your toolset, you could combine the two and use both together. It's going to be very rarely that you would be using just one tool.
And it's a good thing fucking PDAs have USB ports, right? Do they?
I'm sure you could install one.
It's been a fucking while, okay? It's been a fucking hell. $1,500 for a PDA? You can fucking kill yourself. Yeah, no, sure. I'll just do both of those then. What was it? Brain computer interface, you said?
Yeah.
Sounds so disappointed in me. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, would that work then if I have those two as
Both of those are
like
valid tools, especially for virtual adepts.
just to eat like of course you can always put your hand on the ground and try that way, but it's easier if you have something that connects directly to
No,
something.
as a techno mage, you actually have to have tools. You have to use them. You can't just not use them.
Well, no, I can use them. It's just it takes longer for me to throw them away.
Yeah,
No, you can't not
The-
actually use.
technocracy are the ones who can't outgrow tools.
No,
Virtual
technomages.
adapts can. They just
No, virtual adapts can, but it's like when you hit like level 6 or whatever with it, you finally drop 2 tools instead of like
you drop
the normal
one
one.
at 6, and on 7 and 8 you drop 2 at a time.
I'm just gonna be walking around with a giant fucking like computer on my back, guys. Just ignore me. I don't need 7 of these fucking things.
Let's start with 3. So, okay, why does sending your intentions through the internet work? Is it... It could just be that it's a more convenient way to interface with just raw information and reprogram it that way.
Sorry about that. Probably more. I guess it would be more open. Like it'd be open at that point. Then, like if to go through something else opens up the code easier to be influenced. Would that make sense?
Well, yeah, you could believe that going through computers and machines of information is just a shortcut that lets you access the base code of reality more easily.
Like like rituals were like the old school way of doing it, and now the new way is just a fucking computer.
Okay, so I think as far as paradigms go, as in how you believe the world actually works underneath that, I think everything is data is pretty obvious for you. And I think reality hacking is how you practice magic.
Man, that sounds like the technocracy are gonna come fucking stab me first.
Let me just add this in.
I'm gonna
So
type it. Oh, just retarded.
so we have an idea as to what your practice is, since you're the one who seems to be the surest of everyone how your approach to magic is set up for your character.
Oh no, totally. I'm literally fucking with the data streams of what everybody thinks is reality,
Okay,
but it's all just numbers.
alright, so there's a lot of good ones that fit in with this. Not sure if devices and machines is something that you necessarily need to go with. Numbers and numerology might be good because that seems to
Yeah,
fit
no,
with...
that seemed really important. I was looking at that on the common the chart that they're all together on. I was thinking that.
Okay. Do write in this basic idea about... Well, I think though for pretty much everything it's a case of using that as a shortcut to access the base code. Well, that is 3 so far for you. Backlog, do you have a paradigm and practice picked out?
No.
Okay, then we'll look at that once we circle back to you.
Okay.
Ben, how about you? Are you ready to pick some tools?
I wrote some stuff down. You can look at it if you want.
Okay. Well, take us through some of those. Tell us about them, so the rest of the group can hear.
First one I chose was rituals, because my character believes like not everything can simply be done just on a whim, and through controlling rituals you can control magic as they have an innate power within themselves. then my character has faith. Because the more belief others have in my character, the more she believes she can actually do. Like her powers become realized through other people's faith, and that is an impression she leaves on other people through her powers. Group rights, because working together and using other people, well, not using other people, having other people help you and their belief fueling your magic, not just in faith, but through their own aid, helps your magic be fueled and powered. And meditation, because in meditation you find your true self and you draw upon the power that you already held. And tattoos, like just for runes and stuff, like runes of power that my character can use that mean specific things.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's like 5 things.
I think the faith is more of a practice thing, but that is a really good pick. Not so much as manipulating or using your own faith as using other people's faith and just resonating with things that way. So it seems to me that yours, as far as practice goes, would be a combination of faith and high ritual magic to some extent. That or chaos magic?
Oh no, not the chaos magic.
I don't know, guys. What do you think fits for Ben's paradigm and practice?
Hmm.
I barely know
Divine order and earthly chaos, maybe? Or it's all good, have faith.
I was thinking creation's divine and alive, and because that rituals holding intrinsic power and getting other people to put their weight behind you, that sounds a lot like trying to get reality to put its weight behind what you're doing. Does that sound about right, Pen?
Sure.
We'll pencil that in. And practice. Right, you're about harnessing other people to a large extent. I think that's actually Dominion.
Social dominion.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty classical actually. Not so much faith as just social dominion. I think that fits best. Approached in a different way than the book might suggest, maybe, but when you look at the spirit of the practice, it fits 100%. Especially if you believe that creation's alive to some extent, and you're trying to get nature on your side with some of these rituals, even when you don't have other people fucking with things.
Well, I mean, she doesn't believe that nature's alive. She just believes in the inherent power of people and their faith. Not a nature mage.
Well, not nature specifically, I mean nature as in reality. But okay. So, what does she believe about the cosmos in general? Like, how does the world work to Amanda? How is reality set up?
I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, we'll circle back to it. That's fine. Welcome to Mage, everyone. I do think the faith thing isn't a set tool, though. At least in the common ones.
It was in the book somewhere.
It was in the
It's a
book as
practice.
a practice rather than a specific tool. A practice is essentially like you can have witchcraft as a practice and then have all the stuff Jackalord listed as individual tools within witchcraft, as he does it.
Well, then that would definitely be her practice then instead of social dominion.
Oh, well, but here's the thing: faith is about essentially people like the faith healer that can actually heal people. It seems to me like this character is a lot about drawing others people's will to direct towards the goal she wants. Hence why I'm think Dominion might fit. But we can say that it's essentially a melding of the two. Because there's certainly a lot of both being manipulated here. But okay, let's see who haven't we covered on first up. Nyaxi, I think.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with? Tools or something else?
Wait,
Yeah.
I need to reload the page. Something out of the character sheet. I don't mind either tools or practice or paradigm.
Okay, so you have an idea as to what your paradigm would be. Why don't we start with that? How does the world work to Nathan?
Oh, now I understand what happened. You clicked on the button, so there's a bigger notes section.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was just setting me off. Well, I wanted to go with everything's an illusion.
Okay, that certainly fits. Alright. And practice-wise...
A mixture between high ritual magic and martial arts.
And then on to tools. So... I assume weapons?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do weapons fit into your concept of magic and the universe in general?
Well, weapons are like tool of direction and focus. Like it's an extension of your will.
Okay. So their way of focusing your intentions and your commands towards reality and in general being awesomer. Okay, go ahead and write that in.
Yeah, what page is the paradigm stuff?
There's a short list on 566 that just lists the titles, and there's a longer description of everything down below.
If you're on the short list, if you press on the basically when it says what it practices or when it says beliefs, if you press on that, it will take you down to the longer versions.
Okay.
The book is a good PDF.
So far, so good. Do you have an idea for second tool, Nyaxi?
Ordeals and exertions.
Okay. Go ahead and write that in. So you said something about those being kind of like a test to prove you're worthy, is the way I understood it, before the universe obeys you.
Yeah, you need to overcome limits and other stuff. Which is also why combat is important, since it's like a very noble thing.
Mm-hmm. You do know that the old Hermetic Masters, if they saw what you really believed, would go, I challenge you.
Yeah, they would. They really would.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about a third pick?
um,
Circles and designs, maybe?
yeah, since that's like important, like especially if you're like doing complicated things in magic terms, you of course fall back to high ritual stuff and use like a ton of crap.
I'll have to be right back.
Okay. Okay, so how does that fit into your approach to the universe in general?
Well, it's
Namely,
like
the circles and designs. Like, sure, I guess it's a tried and true method. Is it like a shortcut through certain barriers, or is it something the universe recognizes, or are you using it because it has become part of the illusion and thus you can use it as a built in cheat code?
it's like using, it like symbolizes the patterns that occur in reality, so it helps with directing them.
Okay, excellent. That works perfectly fine. And I believe we can move on to Pengo.
Yes. Finally, right? My tools.
You make me sad in the soul. Have you got a paradigm picked out?
Paradigm? Yes.
I shudder to
Could you
ask.
could you guess?
I'm
Could you
gonna ask.
Fine. Might is right. My will is by my will I make things go. Because I'm such a strong-willed person. I do it through my tools, obviously, but yes. And my practice.
Wait till you run into a ranked 6 Fragabash. He steals your favorite strike and eviscerates you with it.
Don't worry, we can just hack. We just hack craft extra lives. It's fine.
Okay, what is your practice?
Suicide.
Practice. I have two or three. I haven't decided yet, but martial arts and medicine work. Because martial arts, for myself, because I use martial arts in how I fight basically, and how I use magic to strengthen myself. Basically, I use my will to strengthen myself by training and having disciplined martial arts.
Okay.
And then the medicine work is because I've fought so much and so hard. I also know how to heal people.
You
And
don't necessarily need both. Essentially, if you wanted to use life magic on someone to heal them, you could smack them in the face to kick the disease out of them.
Yeah,
Be
no.
gone! Be gone!
Stand still, I'm gonna punch the flu out of you. Stand still.
Okay, no. Yeah, medicine work. Basically, and then the kind of medicine I would be using is something connected to the martial arts I would be practicing. So if I was doing kung fu, Chinese medicine, or I haven't decided on the martial art yet, but something like that.
Okay, acupuncture.
So traditional medicine rather than
Okay,
the
now
new Western stuff.
that certainly works. Sure. So your tools.
My tools or instruments. Where is
You need
it?
to have a fucking stick. My apologies, a medicine stick, as they're called.
Medicine stick. Be gone, disease. Be gone. I keep hitting the person.
It's not working. It's cause you botched, you fuck. Try again.
Remember, you
Send the ball.
did every time you botch, you just had a fucking heart break another bone in his chest.
You know
Hey,
how you
fix
can
that.
have helpers for rituals? I'm doing a healing ritual. I have to hit somebody, and I bring in other people, and I give them sticks too, and we hit the person until he's healed.
Let me heal you.
And then I
Twack.
botch.
Oh wait, let me heal that tooth. Twack. Oh sorry, let me heal that one. Twack.
Good God. Okay. So energy, which I haven't read these what they mean, but would energy work? Since I'm thinking of magic as life force or chi or something like that.
Energy. We can
Or is
go
that something
to
different?
that and see what it says. Fuck me. Such pain in the ass to look through. I really,
Yeah.
really, really hate Mage. Where the fuck is it? Let's use the search function.
Yeah, no.
500 of these names were found.
God,
Common instruments.
awesome.
Energy. The life force.
Was it life force? Awesome.
Through practices like Tantra, Yoga, and other forms of energy work. Yeah, go ahead. That's.
That's acupuncture in a fucking nutshell right there.
All right. Are you
And-
writing these down or do I?
Write them down, please.
All right. Energy.
Okay. Body work. What the fuck is that? Dare I even ask?
That's probably also something you're taking.
Probably. Massage, energy sharing, chiropractic medicine, acupuncture, and acupressure. Oh yes, this is definitely yours.
Yes. Okay, so how am I gonna be using that? I need to type shit down.
Energy work
Hey.
is about manipulating your own energies, and
Oh.
this is about manipulating someone else's. So you could, for example, be doing exercises to harness your own energies and then use carefully stuck needles through someone's eyelids to heal their eyes,
Yes.
using them to pin your energies into the proper place.
God.
Man, I thought I was gonna be the fucking weirdo here. I might be the only one that can blend in with normal fucking society.
He says as he
Hey.
opens a flap in his skull.
Well, it's just a normal
back
brain
piece of
transplant.
plugs in.
I'm back.
There's just a little USB port in the back of my neck, okay?
USB port is not too modern. Or like
Would you,
which type
would you
of USB
rather,
port?
would you rather it be the fucking red, yellow, and white cables?
Yes, yes.
Fucking
Nyaxi, to deal with this, look up when the USB port was invented, will you?
1996.
Okay.
January
Alright.
1996, USB 1.0.
Oh my god. Okay, fine.
So as long as an expert doesn't see that your USB port is like 3.0, like 15 years ahead of schedule, Allied, you'll be fine.
No, it'll be fine.
I mean, we have USB.
Who's gonna be
ports now.
fucking with my body anyway? If you're fucking with my body, I'm either gonna be dead or I'm being raped.
Well, we have them right now, Pen, but in the game it's 2001.
I know, but if it's like 15 years ahead, you'd have USB 4.0.
Or USB Type C.
Just stop.
Look, man.
Just
I'm a wizard,
stop.
okay?
Just fucking stop, all of you.
I mean, if
I'm
it has to
doing
be
my
the
fucking
newest,
Good sir, okay. If you want me to stop, I will.
Your
I
third
mean,
tool for
okay.
now, Craft.
my third tool. What's thought forms?
I have no fucking clue. I'm gonna have to search.
Like, s- there are many stuff that looks interesting here.
I want to cut you.
Well, try
All
to
of
fit it
you.
with your belief.
Thought
I
forms. Behind every potent symbol there's supposedly a low psychic reality, the belief in life force invested in that symbol, and connecting it to the thing it supposedly represents. Blah blah blah. Oh, this is fucking disgusting and I don't understand a fucking...
What page is it on? Okay.
598.
Behind every potent symbol, there's supposedly a layer.
You could think of an egregore as a meme god. Nope, banned!
Yes. Yes. Okay, wait. Let me fucking read it.
Man, that is some meta fucking shit here, and I'm the virtual adapt. Ooh.
Worry about it.
Oh my fucking god, Allied whispers to himself, do I know the way? I know the way. And finds the way!
Do I know the way to the node? I do. Follow me! Where is he leading us now? I just have my backpack with like a fucking computer on my back.
I don't
Alright,
think
let's
you
just take
need
meditation
all
for now.
7 of them, because that's retarded, but I'm not sure. I have no
I'll
clue
just
how
wait.
this stupid system works.
You
I
need
don't
all
Hold on,
seven
what
if
do
you
either.
don't have an
Round
area
about.
of a certain level. Otherwise, it
No,
increases your
I'm a
difficulty.
I'm a virtual adapt, so even though you guys can throw those away, I'm still stuck carrying like 5 of these, even at fucking 8 or level 5.
Stop carrying all 7. You don't give up any until level 6.
Ugh.
Yeah. Good
We've
job, man.
given up 2.
Fucking techno
already.
magic.
Man, I look just fucking. I'm gonna need a lot of stamina to survive here. I have a lot of shit to carry with me.
Okay, Craft, why don't we leave
sure I
that
can-
poisonous one for now and you pick
I'll take
some...
meditation. I'll take meditation for now, and I'll look at the others.
Okay, how does meditation fit in?
Through self-reflection, I learned the way.
Accepted under protest.
All of my stuff have been accepted under protest. Have they not?
What are you next gonna say? You're a monk of the fivefold path.
Don't tempt me, Jackalor. Don't tempt me. Alright, you can go to somebody else for now. Or
Jackalor,
do you want me to pick another one?
you have
Yep.
picked a fourth one. Since then,
Yes. Yeah.
herbs, roots, seeds, flowers, and plants. That's fair enough. What about a paradigm?
Witchcraft.
That's not a paradigm. Paradigm's how you view the universe. That's practice.
Oh, yeah, that's practice. You're right. Which page is the paradigm again? 568. 567. Paradigm.
Please pick something good. Like One-Way Trip to Oblivion. It's how I feel inside right now.
I feel nothingness. Please end it all.
At least
I
with
mean, you
Demon
feel
you
it's very
can burn everything.
What about everything is chaos?
That's mildly
you sure?
pessimistic of you, but sure.
You sure you want to work with the werewolves?
My paradigm is perfect for the werewolves. Might makes right.
Everything is chaos might not be what you're thinking of. A world of gods and monsters might be better. Well, yeah,
Sure.
you only think it makes sense, and where world of gods or monsters, essentially you see the world of darkness as it truly is. Everything's fucked and something's trying to eat you right now.
Yeah, I think I'll take a world of gods and monsters.
Careful, you might see the technocracy's point of view in a second then.
Fucking Jackler falls first. I quickly follow after him.
They wouldn't take you
So-
back. You're part of a traitor tradition. You get purged, son.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, you just die, allied.
Oof. Alright, so I have to wage my eternal crusade.
Please
They didn't
don't
want to
try
accept
to
virtual
hack.
reality, allied.
Please don't try to hack the technocracy. I'll have to kill you.
I'm not gonna hack him yet.
Yet.
God.
Okay, Jackler, you need 3 more tools. Do you have them picked out?
Let me check the page again. Potions and whatever
Let's see. Brews and concoctions.
yeah, brews and concoctions. Like
Ben, no.
I was asking why, not that I'm going to use it.
The same way that one in our party doesn't have an Earthbound as a secret strategic reserve, right?
can I pick cannibalism?
I will. No, Jackler, you may not.
Okay.
Fucking hermits are getting out of control. Somebody stop them.
He's not a hermetic, he's fucking Verbena.
He's a fucking witch.
Witch!
Yes.
Oh my fucking god, I was right in
couldn't believe it.
Warhammer. You are a fucking witch.
Lord.
Okay, so brews and concoctions, that's 5. Please note it in.
Yeah, I'll note how it works. If I can figure out how it works.
Can't fit it with the rest.
I'm trying to figure it out. I know that I agree, I just can't put it into words.
So while Jacklor is thinking, can you explain to me why you hate the duo key?
Because it's a tacked on system that doesn't add a great deal and is a pain to keep track of. It hurt my soul when I tried to understand it. I hoped I would have to go back to it to study it, but you fucker, you are literally making me go back and deal with that bullshit, and I will hate you for it for a very long time.
So do I have the 5-point cursed flaw from VTM, even if it doesn't exist in Mage?
No, you have the
I think
5-point
yes.
Dark Fate Flow. You will inevitably be captured
Oh.
and brain scrubbed by the technocracy.
Oh wow.
Oh, into the right basement you go.
Excuse me, it's called the 101 room, Allied.
Fuck
Room
you, now I'm
04, not
just gonna
found.
hack them into technology and call it the cuck room, and they won't be able to fix it. Fuck them.
Hack the system. It's now called the cuck room, not room 101.
No, it's not 101.
Jacklor, if you
I'm gonna just-
can't actually, formulate it, leave it for now. What else do
There
you
is-
have in mind for your last two? Just write it in without an explanation.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You know, if we map out people's paradigms and tools for this, that will be a good start, and we can do the actual easy things like dots next session.
Yep. Fashion?
What?
Like have to be.
What?
How about you try something that makes sense for how you built this? Like bones and remains or offerings and sacrifices, because this fashion, I'm sorry, but it does not fit what you've built so far here.
Fair
The
enough.
the witch fashionista.
Bones and whatever.
Bones and remains.
Bones and remains.
Shake a
Fuck.
possum dick at it.
How about the?
There, like empathic link to the thing you're trying to get at. Human bone to make a human bone break.
In order to heal you, we're gonna have to go and talk to your grandmother, but she's dead. I know, grab a shovel.
Can't you just do voodoo dolls, Jack? Can't you be a normal witch?
This
Oh,
is not that hardcore for Verbena, actually. This is perfectly normal.
Please, voodoo dolls, Jack. You have to take voodoo dolls. You're not a witch otherwise. Well, not a true witch.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's management and HR as a tool.
Oh god.
Yeah, of course. Technocracy, man.
Ah, fucking syndicate. That's why the masquerade still exists here, because there's a fucker from the syndicate going, now, if you look at this presentation, you will see that it's clearly impossible. Now go and issue a retraction.
There's a breeze as we fucking feel our pet magic get sapped from us. Hooray.
That puts you at 6. You need one more Jackalor. Ordeals and exertions, perhaps? Or
Sacrifices, the sacrifices thing.
why would you go for something that isn't a horrible problem, potentially?
I mean, there's a lot of living things in the jungle.
Hey, ordeals is cutting yourself. Cutting yourself is a problem.
Says
So
the...
like, I can like sacrificing goats. You know.
It starts with goats. It ends with werewolves.
Fucking Europe and not Africa?
No, you're from Europe or from North America. I think you are actually from like Florida, considering what Jackalor is doing. That clearly studied with some voodoo bitches. That's the only explanation.
What was the thing named?
What? Offerings and sacrifices?
Yeah, offerings and sacrifices.
Go ahead and write it in. We'll pick out which ones you
Should've
have
asked
currently
that.
abandoned as unnecessary in a bit.
You have to give something up, right?
Well, you can still use them. It's that you don't have to use them, but it's still part of your set. It's just that you
Alright.
can make some of them optional for yourself. Unlike Allied, who is fucked.
That's what techno mages get.
You wanted to do science. Now
Fuckers
get
don't-
fucked.
They don't even believe that it's magic. What cunts.
Fucking
No, it's not
disgusting.
magic. It's fucking data, you fucking heretics.
Enlightened science is what your term is. Yeah, fuck.
Not even science, it's data.
To
it's
break
all-
a human bone, you need a human bone. Oh. Snaps grandma's knee over his. Eat that, you piece of
Fucking
shit.
werewolf. Fucking werewolf knees snaps. Ah! My grandma's got another fucking hip bone where that
Offerings and
came from.
sacrifices. Sacrifice a life to end a life.
Well,
You killed the
it's
baby,
usually
killed the
the
werewolf.
Jacklord, it's usually the other way. Sacrifice a life to save a life. But if you want to go with sacrifice a life to end a life, you can.
Oh no,
I'm
wait.
going to-
Sounds like
Couldn't
Life for
Jackalor
life.
fuck the one?
Damn it, you are. I have no words. Why? Why did I agree to this?
Because it's beautiful.
Kalima! Oh my fucking... Who the fuck wrote that? Who do I need to shag? Whose character is
Oof.
this?
Oof.
Oh,
I don't know.
oh! So... I see. So, the person who already has a built-in fucking socket in his brain thinks he can mouth off, does he?
Yep. Beep boop, fuck the police. Coming straight at you from the underground.
what did I miss?
Nothing good.
Everything.
A sleep deprived fucking me having fun.
Okay, well, I think that's all for Jackal, unless you have a description for those brews and concoctions.
Oh. I was thinking. I'll skip that for now. I'll come
Alright.
back to it later.
Allied. The brave
Heyo.
man.
What's up?
Okay.
What?
Let's go through these. Numbers numerology was the last one we did. Explain how weapons fit into your paradigm. Because you're hacking reality, how do weapons help with that?
So I'll be honest, I looked up the reality hacking in the core rulebook. And that was one of the things it has.
Well, yes, the book is
Listed.
retarded. You still need to explain it to me and have it make
Well,
sense.
you know what? Alright, let me sit up then. Alright, so you know how it hacks reality? A tiny little metal ball should not suddenly be propelled forward, but it is.
That
You telling
is
me
a
guns
built-in
are reality
cheat
hacks?
code. You're not altering the base code by firing one. See, I was thinking you would pick things that make sense, like, oh, I don't know, uh, voice and vocalizations maybe, or writings, inscriptions and runes, or celestial alignments, or circles and designs. All the things that...
I'm an IT guy. What the fuck am I gonna? Ah, yes, the Orion belt is in the proper position tonight. All right, I'm in. Like what? No, like
Ah, yes, the
I-
stars in the right position for me to fix your computer.
That's no, Allied. No.
So how do weapons help you with that?
Man, now I'm just thinking of how it's just correspondence can make the bullet go farther. But I
That...
don't really think that's that work.
No. That's how you
Man.
use your magic. You need something that helps your magic work.
Fuck.
True names would be a good pick because those could be seen as unique identifiers for various entries in the grand database of the universe.
That's gonna fuck me so bad.
What specifically?
Let's just kill myself.
Well, we're always willing to help a good friend achieve his life goals if you need any assistance.
No, I don't. I got guns.
There you go, champ. So,
Fuck, I lost my train of thought now with this.
okay, we have picked out 3 that fit. We need 4 more that I'm willing to accept. That you can explain in at least a...
My explanation was my explanation was literally going to be the book said it fit, so I was hoping that would work.
No, I don't trust the book after I looked at the examples of how magical effects would work. Because fuck the book, you don't understand. Formulae and math could be a good thing. That doesn't require a lot of carrying capacity.
Would advanced mathematics be one?
I mean, formula in math would involve math, so if you had some science, you could definitely, use that.
Where the fuck is that in this book?
It's a skill. As far as...
What? No. What?
Okay, what are you specifically asking about?
I thought I was doing these things, my foci.
Yes. Yes, your instruments.
Yeah,
They are
so,
on 566 for the shortlist.
well, I know. I'm just confused by what you said. Like why you said that. Like why you brought us the computers. Where the fuck was the home?
Well, let's put it this way.
Yeah,
if you're gonna be using
formula math is one.
Yes.
Math has been called the universal language of the cosmos, Allied.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
wouldn't
have
that
to
fall
fit
under neurology?
Not necessarily. I mean, be brave. Casting without the proper instruments is just a +3.
Man, I'm not gonna be able to do fucking shit.
That's why I'm encouraging you to take ones that you don't necessarily need to. Rely on too much carryable crap for. Because you could go for labs and gear, but... Ugh.
We don't have that.
I mean, even charging your PDA might be problematic out here.
Throw myself off the bridge.
Yeah, I'm really not sure if you're supposed to be using all of them at the same time.
You're not. Otherwise, there's some. There, you shouldn't be using all of them at fucking once.
Which is why I was asking,
Like,
specifically why people would use a. We'll play it by. We'll figure something out. Fuck it.
I mean, the math thing doesn't have to be, pure math. It's more that you like calculate how something will happen with your super intelligence or some shit. Or you use a computer or something to calculate something and then you follow it. Doesn't have to make real sense. It needs to be pseudoscience, basically.
Mage 20th. Instruments and when you need them. Let's try and Google it. No, fuck off, nobody cares.
From what the book is saying on page 567, it's like discarding tools is like, or changing tools is like changing your beliefs, and that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the symbolic change from relying on your beliefs and more on your will, as enlightened mages do.
Yeah, I guess you do need all this stuff. Shit. Yeah, from what I'm understanding, it is meant that way. Shit.
I'm not gonna be able to cast shit.
Okay. So helps crack the code. Able to access identifiers, translation of the data stream for numbers and numerology, direct access to the network, and direct access to the network.
I mean, it's kind of like a combo thing there.
And voice and vocalization.
I'm currently looking up that to find like a fucking cheesy way to get around that.
That's very easy with what you written down with the others. It's just a way to transmit the new code.
You know, I'm wondering why you don't just like glue a computer chip into your hat and just plug it into you.
That's part of what
No,
he's
it's in,
doing.
like-
That's one of his tools.
Which is the brain-computer interface, pretty much.
Fuck's sake, this.
Either that, or you guys just kind of see
It
something
would
go
also
into
work as
meat.
computer
And
gear, and
I mean, it makes sense. You might be without computer and unable to analyze the network directly, and then it would make sense if you're trying a desperate hack without fully understanding what you're doing, that you would be at higher difficulty.
Well, 2, 4, 6. There you go. I have 7.
Looks like.
Wait, what did he pick?
Do you formula in math, true names, voice and vocalization, and books? Are you sure about the books?
Why not nanotech?
I wanted nanotech, but
You can use them to hack doors and shit.
I mean, I could just then directly interact with things through the nanites. Like, I would just have a direct
Yeah.
access.
You could, but
Much
you would
easier.
still need the rest.
You just want the technocracy to come fist fuck me, don't you, Kraft? That's just bullshit guy in Brazil. Like, they're gonna get a sample of my DNA because I went to a Brazilian hospital. I'm like,
Hey,
why the fuck in Brazil has nanomachines in their system?
Allied,
they
maybe
wouldn't know
switch
that
the
nanotech-
books to eye contact, which could be another way in which you connect to upload to a specific part of reality.
I
And
don't know.
that
I
way,
like the nanomachines. I think that's an interesting one.
I'm gonna look at what nanotech actually says here, then.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Because it might not mean what you think it means, and you might get fucked.
I mean, I'm already fucked. Let's be totally honest here. I'm a virtual adapt going into the middle of the Brazilian fucking rainforest.
597, Chris. Page.
Yes, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna go no on the nanotech, because that's more of a Sons of Ether thing.
Society of Ether. Yeah,
Really? You would-
Iteration X and Society of Ether.
You're more of a code person than a crazy inventions kind of person, though, is the thing.
I mean, I was gonna invent a bunch of shit anyway.
You sure you don't want to switch yourself to be Society of Ether? Though, again, that I guess that doesn't fit either with what you already picked.
What's their affinity again?
Matter.
Lol.
Sorry. What is it?
Matter.
Yeah, no. Like nanotech just seems like something a virtual adapt would have though, because I know
Again.
at some point it said hypertech is a thing we're supposed to fucking have the virtual adapt, which is funky. Yeah, no, it's the bridge, the nanotech. It's a bridge between organic code and fucking
But
inorganic.
that's the thing, you just need to, from the way you've set this up, you just need to change the base coding of the universe, and the physical stuff, it doesn't matter, it's just data. So you don't need nanomachines to rebuild reality, you just need to change the underlying code.
Maybe the nanomachines is like a stopgap thing to where like if I don't have anything else, like I physically interact with it. Would that work?
Not with the way the instruments seem to be set up. It looks like you have to have them as a thing that acts in concert, essentially. Kind of. I don't know.
If you don't want me to, I mean, I'll fucking find something else. But it just seems like something that would fit.
It doesn't though, because, like I said, like you treat reality as one big computer that you hack.
Yes, this is just another way to interface on a, like on a stopgap measure type way. Like,
What do the rest of
Instead
you
of
think?
going
Does that make sense? Yeah, like these are the tools that you consider kind of like your basic way of interacting. It's not a fallback tool. You'd still be able to, I think, use nanotech if you didn't have your normal tools. You would just be working with it as an unfamiliar tool. But I don't think it makes sense for it to be one of your primary ones.
I mean, I guess it would tie into how I have like a fucking computer interface and stuff like in me, wouldn't it? Like,
I guess.
the system's just fucking weird. That's the issue here.
it doesn't really fit with the practice of reality hacking. If your practice was more focused on hypertech, I'd say go for it. But you've
Man, that'd be
taken
nice.
the belief set of this character in a completely different direction up until now.
I mean, what is hypertech?
It's like tech only hyper.
You know, you'd fucking hit me if I said something like that. I said that, and you're fucking.
He's not wrong.
Don't make me fucking go weird boy.
It's
He
like
was not meant to be played as a technocrat, technomage.
You know, I'm fucking got the mindset of a goddamn technocracy guy over here.
Uh,
I mean, if you want, I can switch to hypertech.
no. Just what do you, other than nanotech, what are your other ideas for switching the books out, if you're gonna switch them out?
It's the fucking issue. I mean, couldn't I have the books on my like computer?
I guess,
like the-
some of them at least. I guess it makes sense. If you're trying to hack reality, then you would see the other mages and even technocrats as people who have managed to find shortcuts before you, and you could essentially be looking through their writings to figure out where the weak spots and the hack points are.
Yeah, no, that's what I put with that's what I put with books in the first place. Oh, data streams written down and can be repeated or like interfaced.
I guess it fits with the numbers and numerology and formulae and math stuff, so I guess it makes a weird kind of sense when you put it all
We're gonna be in
together.
the middle of a fucking like battlefield, and you guys are gonna be like, "Cast your magic, virtual adapt," and I'm gonna pull out a fucking blackboard and a fucking like one of those old ass like what are they called? Where they had the 5 fucking lines and you did math on it.
Jesus
Fuck,
fucking
man.
Christ. Just start screaming out fucking formula.
Worst case scenario, you just have like forum posts as like sacred scripts saved on your computer.
Oh, Ben, please. I'm
But
already hurting enough. Why?
as the guy said in chat, abdicus. That's what the fuck I was talking about. I gotta pull out a blackboard and abdicus, and I gotta get a telescope out and look at the fucking sun's position.
You don't
I mean,
have
it
celestial
works.
alignments as a tool, Allied, I think. So no, you don't.
No, but there is. Oh, you know, I do just have fucking formulas in math. All right, yeah, no. I just
could use
basically have to
celestial
carry around a
alignments.
fucking notepad and a calculator with me everywhere I fucking go.
Yeah, it's actually when you put it all together, not that heavy a load. Perfectly manageable, just like the others.
Just, man, I better be able to fucking go.
Just
Point, I'll
shove
be
a
upset.
Raspberry Pi into your hat. Just be like, we're good.
Okay, so, Ben, it looks like
Better than-
you have a great many things picked out. Almost a full set, in fact.
I have 6.
Okay, so group rights, meditation, writings. Those look good. Weapons. A sacred blade for a sacred person.
Is that what he has for his weapons?
That
Oh, let's see.
is interesting. Sure. I think everyone should have one, individual tool. In any case, and that can certainly be yours.
Mine's a fucking Rubik's Cube, apparently.
A holy book of Amanda's design. So that means that it's not so much a set of a book or set of books that you need to have, so much as that you need to make a custom book to act as kind of a symbol and way of channeling things.
It is a singular book.
Okay, that's fine. So keep in mind, if you don't have a book created by yourself for the purpose of magic with you, you're gonna need to make a new one.
Prep.
So try not to lose it if you're gonna set up a dependency like that. But yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Craft, for fuck's sake.
What?
Heavy breathing. Heavy fucking
Oh, I did
breathing.
shit. Sorry.
And you need one
That
more
was just
pen.
Mm-hmm.
So, any ideas?
Also, before we move on, my paradigm
Mm-hmm.
is a better one. It's called We're All Gods in Disguise. And it's in the Book of Secrets.
I have to look that up. Give me a second. Opened up the Mage, Book of Secrets. Gods in Disguise. Searching it. Still searching it. Do you have a page for me?
Yes, 196.
Thank you. Okay. Separation is an illusion. Behind that facade we are all one and that one is divine. Okay, so essentially that means that you view your magic and how you do it. Essentially, you need to connect with other people in order to work it because it's part of how you connect with the divine.
Yeah. It worked better than the other paradigm.
Yeah, go ahead. This fits perfectly with what you're going for. That's certainly acceptable. And the last tool.
Would if I were to give like a sermon or a prayer or something like that, would it be voices and vocalizations or prayers and invocations?
If you were sermoning to other people, it would be prayers and invocations, I think. Yeah, you could go for that, sure. Praise and
Okay.
invocations.
What if instead of like sermoning to other people, it's like repeating phrases or prayers that are like important?
Uh, essentially, if you were to use one of the tools that you can set aside and set aside group rights, then you could then proceed to use prayers and invocations without needing to do them to other people.
Okay.
Like, you're not gonna be trapped in it. If you set a certain tool aside, will make the rest fit around that hole in a way that, doesn't require you to have that thing there anymore.
What's the XP cost for buying a rat again?
Later, Jackalore?
Times current.
So, yeah, go ahead and write that down. I think that's all the stuff we need. As far as Amanda's beliefs are concerned, Pen.
7 tools, paradigm, practice.
So, Nyaxi.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean by elements? You mean the stuff that's in the
4
book?
elements. Yeah. Basically like air, fire, water, and earth.
Okay. Okay, so your magic would need to be, when you cast it, connected to those. Okay, that's strong symbolic shortcut. Yeah, that works. What about a fifth one?
Um,
And then there was silence. Okay, we have weapons, we have ordeals and exertions, circles, pentacles, and geometric design, and elements. So let's see. Let's see what works with that. Um. Okay. Writing inscription and runes might be a good one.
yeah, would make sense.
Okay. And you are about expressing intent. So I think symbols would be a good addition as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then maybe something that adds to that overcoming part. So maybe like meditation to overcome your inner limitations as well.
Yeah, yeah.
If those work for you, you can just write them in then.
Yeah, they all make sense with the rest.
And that leaves Mr. Suicide over there. Craft!
I what? Wow, so rude. How am I Mr. Suicide?
Okay. Energy, guiding the energy of yourself. Body work, guiding the energy of others. Meditation, through self-reflection I learned the way. I will cut you. Herbs, roots, seeds, flowers, and plants. Material used to heal people. Languages.
That
Symbol.
symbol, I'm like thinking one of those I could probably use. I wasn't really sure.
Think
Like one of,
I think you might go with something similar to what someone else picked, because someone wanted to have writing inscriptions and runes as tattoos or designs drawn on their body.
That was me.
Yeah, that's a not horrible idea, Craft. You could steal it.
yeah. I like for there's either the I go with, godly languages and I start speaking Mandarin, or I go with the symbols and I start, drawing symbols or using symbols to channel my magic through them.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because you don't believe necessarily in God so much as you believe in your
Yeah,
own power, so you would be trying to channel your
exactly.
own strength. So I
That's
think,
why I'm using, because the symbols make it more easy for me to challenge my strength or some stuff like that.
yeah, so I think symbols is a better
So instead of
bet.
godly power, yeah, instead of language. Since I'm not invoking the language of God, since I don't give a shit about God in this character's case. I am my own God, right? Or no, I channel, or might
I,
makes right. Okay, the biggest guy. I could use language that way by saying because there's a mighty being, and I'm using or some bullshit like that. But the
I'm
symbols is better.
changing your nickname, by the way, to Failed Taliban then.
Why am I a failed Taliban?
Because you don't believe in God, you believe in yourself.
I'm not blowing myself up.
Well, yes, that's the point.
So I always have to make suicide characters otherwise. I mean, you're making this guy a suicide character by banning my thing.
So what
Alright,
about the
weapon.
sex/sacrifices thing?
Because there's a magical art where we basically you can cultivate your own energy by stealing other people's energy. So basically, I sleep with somebody, I sleep with a woman, and I steal her yin to give myself more yang, which is the male version of you. You know how yin and yang works.
Sure, but here's the thing.
Would that
This
be
is something you do as part of casting, which means that you are gonna have a
Oh.
tough time actually getting your magic off the ground, as it were, if you go with that approach.
Is it though?
This is literally
is
what you
one
use
thing
to
you
channel
cast,
your
sorry.
magic.
Said it as one of the things you cast.
Let's go with sacrifices. Fuck it.
Sacrifices. In
Please,
what
you're
forms?
carrying a bunch of
What?
Sacrifices in what way? Gerbils which you just crunch in your fist before striking?
Wait, what? What did you say?
How are the sacrifice part? How is the sacrifice part gonna work if you're gonna switch to that instead?
Instead of sex?
Yeah.
Equal trades. But no, wait, no. Fuck, yeah, that doesn't probably fit.
I'm not
Since
sure how well weapons fit either, because I mean, you can take martial arts if you don't have that yet as one of these. I think. That or though?
Wasn't that a practice though?
I think it might be. Yeah, martial arts was a practice. Shit.
Yeah, well, tools. That's why I have tools too, so I can, or weapons too. Because I integrate weapons into my martial arts basically. And use those.
You're literally gonna be whacking someone with a staff to heal them.
No.
Cats,
I'm gonna-
hold still. I'm gonna take this axe and cut the cancer out. Wait, what?
I'm doing what the doctor does. Don't worry about it.
literally stealing my thing.
I think that
I
in
am-
his case, it would be vulgar. If you were to do it with all the scary witchcraft, it might just be coincidental in these parts, Jackalore. In some cases.
But I mean, my actual healing is more with herbs and stuff, so I make medicines, kind of.
That's brews and concoctions, not herbs, roots, seeds, and
Yeah.
flowers.
It isn't?
Yes.
Herbs
Were
is...
they really similar?
They are both witchy. Brews and concoctions, what you force them to drink. Herbs is more like waving burning sage around them.
Oh.
Which is actually easier to use because, you are not gonna get fucked when you're fighting.
Yeah. I just start, lighting up a special flower that increases my endurance or some shit. That I use to increase my endurance.
Special flower. Puff, puff, puff.
Hey, that's literally how this works. I'm a mage. Trust me.
You know
this is a
that's
magic-
literally a thing you could do. Drugs and poisons is a focus.
Yep, it is.
I mean, it's come on. What I mean, if you're gonna the overlap here, you see the overlap. That's why can't it just go with seeds and flowers, man?
Someone says that it only needs one tool to cast a spell usually, and I would think that that would be the case, but sources seem to suggest otherwise, so I'm asking them if they can save us from ourselves. So, herbs, roots, seeds, flowers, and plants. So it's material used to heal people. Can you define that in a way that applies to more than just... You know how we're gonna rule this? We're gonna house rule this.
Okay.
I just thought of an idea. You need
What?
one of your tools for every level of the highest sphere.
Okay.
So that way, the big workings need a fuck ton of things, the easy ones you just need one of the things. And that way we won't go insane. There, a shortcut, a reality hack, a fucking witchcraft spell. You're welcome.
Hey.
I tried that and it's, oh no, you can't have nanomachines, son. It's not a reality hack.
Okay.
Listen, I am
We'll
gonna
have to
take
look-
your fucking brain plug away in a second because it's 2001.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that shit seems like hella vulgar.
Don't worry,
But
I'm gonna be.
he's a virtual adept.
I'm gonna get
That's how
kidnapped
it
real
works.
fucking quick. It's fine.
I mean, he usually probably has a hat on himself or like hair that covers the plug.
You know, just so we have a moment of levity, you may think as to why I have a burp token ready.
Oh god, yeah.
A bird
Oh
token.
no. Murder
Bird.
verbs.
Yes, bird.
Caw, fuckers!
Murder of birds.
I
Man,
make
get
no
the
comment.
fuck out of here, parents! Ain't nobody gonna deal with your shit today.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I'll put food out for you tomorrow.
No
forget
comments
that
on
one.
any devourers that might be around.
No comment.
That's fine.
What about Cadians and animals?
Rick Jackalot.
That's right. That's Nyaxis. You were Jack Jackson. What a disgusting name. So sacrifices and symbols. You just need to describe those, and then we're done with this part.
Please finish so we can move on to the simple stuff.
Just let me die. Why won't you let me die?
You know, I think us all committing ritual suicide at the first session. It might be actually better than actually playing.
No, but that's where we've got into the fun stuff, right? The book promised Jackalore. It said it was gonna be fun eventually.
Eventually.
The worst fucking part is if anybody dies, we don't all get wiped. Fuck, deal with somebody making a new character sheet.
Oh god.
If you die.
Don't fucking die if you want Draco to fucking be friends with you.
I mean, if Draco is the one killing you.
So who are we held up on? Is it Craft?
I am the last one, yeah.
Come on, Craft. Okay, Craft. What is your fucking last one? Come on.
Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Actually, if we are ruling it as one instrument per highest sphere, it means that if you somehow think of a way to bring all of your tools into a single casting, it can lower the difficulty. Which I kind of like.
I like that too.
Yeah, that's neat.
I mean, why would-
Sacrifice a cat, shake the bone of a baby, spit blood everywhere, just to sense Prime 1.
Jesus fuck.
Craft, you channeling power through traditional symbols, okay, and sacrifices.
Sacrifice.
What are you
yes.
offering?
Well, how
Think
do you
equivalent
use sacrifices? It can be as simple as inflicting pain on yourself in some way and treating that as a
But
sacrifice, or sacrificing animals, or how does this work?
when I sacrifice my life energy or chi, when I sacrifice my chi, quintessence, I can use it to change things.
No, you do not get to use spending quintessence as one of your focuses, Craft.
God damn it.
Hold on, wait. Wouldn't that actually? Hold on, wait. Wouldn't that actually fuck him if he tried to? Because to use that tool, he would then need quintessence, which we're not just shitting out, right?
No, because we're house ruling it that you only need some of your focuses.
Well, yeah, no, but I was saying, like, if he was to even use that tool, he would need quintessence, which already lowers the difficulty of what you're trying.
It's fine. I'll take the Nephilim flaw. Merit, I mean.
Oh,
It's effective.
fucking hell.
10 quintessence a day.
You're not getting 10 off of that.
Yeah, he said
It's in
7,
the.
I think.
It's 7 in the
it's 7.
book. In a Magic Poor World, you're getting 3.
Wow.
Oh yeah, no, he nerfed that. Yeah, no, it was
It
went from 7 to.
It was
I mean,
OPS
still
shit.
getting 3 per rest is still pretty fucking
Craft,
nice.
if you want to do sacrifices in terms of essentially sacrificing your time, energy, and suffering, maybe take ordeal so people don't think you're a bitch in your own tradition. Because you look like a bitch right now.
Ordeals. I have to do extreme things to strengthen myself.
Or to prove you're worthy.
100 push-ups a day, at least. 200 if you're not feeling that good.
Fuckers like, I'm just gonna do energy work and a bit of symbols and a little bit of the herb. Yeah, I'm an Akashic Master. Fuck off.
Fuck, even I'd have to do more goddamn work to fucking craft.
I think an old master would try to heal him of his stupidity with a stave at that point.
Oh dear, it's terminal. He's got like life fucking 7. He's like, even I can't cure this. This is terminal. I'm sorry.
I mean, if an old master decides that you need to be cured with a stave, and you're not cured after the first blow, it probably is gonna be terminal.
Yeah, no, fucking sticks to be terminally reaching terminal velocities as it goes through them. Come on, Kraft, you could do this. You are holding us up. We believe in you.
Ordeals and exertions. How do they apply?
Ordeals and exertion. Ordeals and exertions. I use them.
Because my
Yeah.
master told me that if I didn't, I would die horribly.
No, that's not a valid way of channeling magic. Might makes right. God damn it.
So you then just say that you
I
are
build
using
my
them
mind.
as a way to show the universe that it should obey you, that you're tougher than it.
Yeah.
I'm tougher than the fucking universe, bitch. No.
Fuck you. I am so strong.
Earthbound Barrett pokes up its head. I'm trying to fucking sleep.
Hacker man! Go back to sleep. We ain't dealing with that computer virus just yet.
Except that all demons are completely immune to mind control, unless it's like a tormented voice of heaven. So you're at the very
Yeah.
least facing a huge difficulty increase, even more than vampires.
Oof.
So, casting at +6 difficulty. At least.
What do you think?
So you only need what 4 successes, and you get one, and technically you get 1 success. Is it be difficulty 12?
I mean, Draco, according to the book, you only need one tool for when you do spells or use effects.
He knows.
The
We're waiting on
book,
you.
you
Kraft.
are reading the chat.
Not no.
What? No, are you sure about
Look here,
that?
look here. In game turns, then, your mage might need several turns in order to cast this effect, with the amount of time based upon the tools in question. For that reason, your mage might want a wide selection of instruments to choose from. Maybe he doesn't have time to perform an elaborate hoop dance right now, but the pouch of tobacco will serve as a quick offering for his totem spirit. So like
Oh,
he can just use
bless
one cycle.
him. Gale is starting to actually. He's trying to start the play by post, and like 4 of his elders are here.
Yeah, no,
That's just adorable. Oh, honey.
I saw that pop up and I fucking read it. I went, I'm not dealing with that shit right now. I got wizarding to do. Come on, Kraft. We believe in you. Please let us get to the
I'm
fun stuff.
fucking done. Like I'm
Okay.
fucking done.
But
You're
yeah,
done?
the book
Okay,
seems
well,
to
yeah.
contradict itself, and it's weird the way it works out, and yada yada blah blah, but essentially, yeah, like I said, for now, until we decide to do it differently, we're just gonna treat it as one tool per highest sphere involved. So, essentially, if you're casting Life 3, you need 3 tools, and in case you have a red 5, you have enough to have set all of them aside, and you don't need any, in theory.
Angry fucking virtual adapt noises.
Well, sucks to be you. Maybe you should have picked a good tradition.
I
Yeah,
did.
screw
You didn't let me be technocracy. The best of the traditions.
That's not a tradition.
Yes, it is.
They never get to set aside their folks as allied.
They
Yeah,
never, yeah.
You can't set
Yeah,
aside.
but they can at least. Yeah, but they can at least, have fucking. Oh no, wait, they can't. They also suffer paradox. Touche.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, are we just supposed to look for Taurus, and that's how we're gonna tell who a technocracy dude is?
Just look for the
Oh my
tourists.
fucking god, you look at the cartel member who was there from the start, and then you notice him just pull out the mirror shades, put them on, and stand up.
She's like, yeah, no, he's not somebody that's supposed to be. He's not somebody from around here. He just starts whistling and walking away quickly. I think that might be a new order agent. He walks quicker.
You see someone pull out a laptop and you're like, oh, is that a new model? And you just like,
He just puts it back away. What? No, he didn't do nothing. He's like tapping on his neck like fucking Morse code. He's trying to get fucking a strike team to come save him. Alright, so what's the next part of the fucking hell sheet?
I don't even fucking know. I've been in here so long, I don't remember the outside world, allied. I can't make it on the outside.
been
That's
institutionalized
why.
by me.
That's fine, you're not leaving here anyway. We gotta keep fucking going. We got other gubbins to do. Backgrounds and over fucking roads don't care. Syrians don't care.
Okay, we can work through one person's math, probably. I guess. Jackalor, you're up.
I read to 5, 56 XP, life to 4, 21
No,
XP.
no. We start with the base dots that you put in all the fun places. But
Well,
what you
primary
think this is
social.
gonna be that simple?
Well, primary is social, 4 in charisma, 3 in manipulation. Secondary is mental, 2 in perception, 3 in wits, and physical is tertiary with 3 in dexterity.
Okay, and the intelligence 2, appearance 2, and stamina 3 are raised with XP then?
Silence.
Yes, apparently he did. It's total of 20 XP. God damn it, Jackalor. You know we need double check the math. Have you tried sucking less? Jackalor?
What? I didn't get at all what you were saying.
He cut out.
Okay, let's move on. Abilities. Tell us about abilities. Looks like the math is pretty straightforward. Knowledge is tertiary, skills secondary, talents primary. Sphere-wise, looks like you've just got life up to 4. Again, straightforward. Willpower's been raised with freebies, as has a ret, to 3. Experience-wise, life is raised to 4 with XP, and ret is raised to 5 with XP. Let's see. 8 per level of ret, so that's 24 plus 32, which is 56. The math seems correct, so counting everything out, does look like 97, so you're good on that. Let's take a look at your stuff and see if there's anything that requires a particular thing. The only thing that comes to mind is blessings and curses. You might want expression for that, which you have at least some of.
3. Yeah.
It's probably enough. If you are casting life 4, you might need to have some of the other tools to, you know, make up the difference.
I could just spend like remove 2 from pooled and put that in.
We'll get to that in a second. Okay. Your free points, I assume, just went into Avatar.
And 2 in pooled.
Alright,
I
you
have
have
there's
7
7
for
backgrounds.
free. Right.
Yeah.
You have Prime 3, so you having that quintessence just in your body makes sense. And apparently there is no clear ruling on which tools you need, and a lot of STs just ignore that, so we're just gonna go with the highest sphere involved sets the amount you need. Because I do want it to be some kind of limitation.
That's fine.
Okay. And language merit.
Yes, I'll need to drop a point in pool backgrounds for that.
Give me a second. I'm counting. Yes, you will. Okay.
And that's Brazilian. Not Brazilian. Portuguese.
Okay. Good. Okay. What else do we need to take a look at? There was something else. Alright, which of these tools do you want to be optional? You can pick, with an array of 5, you can pick 3 that you no longer have to use.
Offerings and sacrifices.
Okay.
Brews and concoctions. And herbs, roots, seeds, flowers, and plants.
Okay. Then just parentheses after it, just write in optional or discarded.
So you are now the tool of those things, Jackalor.
Still needs to spill blood in some cases.
He basically force feeds people his saliva instead of making a concoction, right? Or something. Because he still needs liquids for those magics, right?
No,
No?
brews and concoctions. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
need
brews
to
and
make brews and concoctions. I can use it if I want to, but I don't need to. I can just
Yeah.
use something else. I can do magic without it. So like heal someone without using a potion.
So with this new house rule about tying it to the max sphere, if essentially Jacklord could use life 3 without using anything, but he wouldn't get bonuses for, using a tool when he doesn't have to. And if he used one tool with that magic, I think he would get a -1 for that. Or should.
Yeah.
Because 3 discarded tools plus 1 extra on top.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it would work out. Well, we are learning the system. We are having fun.
I mean,
Fun in capital letters, of course.
it's fun like cancer's fun. Nobody enjoys it. At least the fucking part where you gotta pick your paradigms and stuff.
So, Jacklord, describe your characters. You know what, I think we can talk about some more group things after this and make sure Jackalord's properly finished, and we'll wrap out everyone's thoughts next session and get maybe to the actual game. Or maybe we'll spend a second session finishing character creation, but yeah, I think that's how we'll go with it. So, Jacklord, I'm gonna want you to pick at least one dot in some kind of resonance for left flavor, and pick a flavor for that resonance, whether it's static, dynamic, or entropic.
I haven't had time to read about the resonances.
Entropic is shit falling apart, static is shit staying together, dynamic is change.
I'll take dynamic.
Okay. And what kind of a dynamic feel does your magic have?
Like, you know how the wield with how works with the werewolves?
You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
Okay. Well, it's chaotic. It's unusual.
You know,
Yeah, I
chaotic
don't
as
know.
flavor text works.
Okay. I'll write it in the thing.
Okay, then I'm gonna need you to describe how your essentially nature works. Namely, I know what the nature does, but I need to know what it applies to.
I was not prepared for this.
None of us were, yet here we are in the jungle. You're in the mage game now, bitch.
I have no fucking clue. I just picked something. Literally just picked something.
Our man is busy playing the bye-bye post by himself.
Yeah, himself.
It's just...
Amazing. How many of Kill Elders are here?
4.
Isn't Demi an
All
elder?
for everyone but Demi.
And
Oh,
our
Demi,
man.
Oh, goodness.
Actually, Draco, myself, and Jack are here.
And Nyaxi.
Demi actually.
Yeah.
I
God
said
bless.
Never mind. So, Jacklord, you're an architect. What are you trying to architect?
I'm trying to build a lasting imprint on the or society of mages.
Oh dear, yeah, I think you're gonna leave a lasting mark, alright. Okay, then I'm gonna want you to describe your avatar to us.
Oh boy. Okay, avatar. Let's see this.
Primordial. Right. Right.
Page was that again with the essence?
267 for short descriptions.
I need to read up on this.
What the fuck did I pick again? By the way, Jackalor,
Effectively.
with 5 dots in Avatar, that Avatar is gonna ride your ass hard.
I know, right? It's part of the
Man,
fun.
he's into that. Hello?
Jackalor's
I'm
reading.
thinking.
He's
I'm reading.
Okay.
he's
It just went
he's
really quiet.
he's trying to figure out really hard how not to get fucked by this, and he's already lost, but he doesn't want to admit it to himself.
No, right? My avatar
Level
is
5
like a friend that sits in my head and constantly tells me what to do.
That's all the avatars.
Damn
Yeah.
it!
Oof.
I mean, not all of them are friends, but yeah.
I mean, some of them aren't friends. Some of them are like this little devil who says, "Who's talking shit to you?"
I don't know how to do this.
Primordial
Pick
are
some-
essentially eternal enigmas.
Yeah.
Eerie and often sinister avatar forms, so come up with something suitably creepy. You're a Jackalor, it should come naturally.
I wish. I wish I could think of something. I really wish.
Okay.
Look at the example avatars.
Where's that? Which page? Craft. Tell me.
Let me fucking find it. God damn it. There we go. Come on.
4 or 5 dot avatars achieve full-blown identities. What do you call
Very
your
tall.
avatar, Jackalor? Give us a name.
What's his?
Alfred. His name is
Give
Alfred.
us a form too. Is it a little? Is it a human? Does he look like a human, or is it
It's a
human to you?
primordial one. There's no way it looks normal. You know what?
Yeah.
It's
is it a
it
little
manifests
child?
Jackalor. It manifests as a butler, an older butler, a classical Alfred, but it just has these deep, swirling black pools as its eyes that just bore
I
into
like
your
that.
face.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Really like that.
There, that's your avatar. Write that down
Yes.
somewhere so you don't forget.
Oh well. Oh well.
So that's a thing. Now, those of you who have an idea as to approximately how much you could commit to the group stuff in terms of pooled backgrounds, write that into Roll20 chat so we have an idea what we're working with approximately.
How many backgrounds do we get?
7 for
pages?
free.
Okay. 7.
Namely, we're talking about the ones that you're gonna commit to the group, and so you can pull them together and make a collective set of backgrounds and like an organization that you all control.
I mean, if you have anything that seems kind of useful for the whole group, just make it into group points, and then we'll make it.
Yeah, like
Instead of, spending already.
spies would be good. The lane retainers are too powerful for this book's version of retainers. That's not gonna be a thing, I'm sorry.
Okay.
But stuff like contacts and spies is more useful as a group thing, probably.
So do I get rid of the dots on my sheet?
Yeah, you can just write it into your notes that you're pulling it somewhere. And Jesus. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting set of merits. Good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. What do fucking echoes do?
Do you remember when I took echoes in Changeling?
See Mage page. What kind of a fucking book just directs you to a page in a different book? I
That's made. Why?
have no fucking
Because if
words.
you're dedicated enough to play the mage, you obviously own all the books. No.
Okay, what does it do at? Are you sure you want to have 3 points of echoes? People who know what to look for recognize you on sight, not simply as a mage, but as the sort of mage you are. Plants bloom or wither in your presence, sounds or music echo through the air, holy or unholy symbols repulse you, possibly forcing you to make a willpower roll to remain nearby. Are you sure, Ben?
I'm currently existing in a state of having spent all of my freebie points. So
You might, you know what?
pretty sure.
You could just commit, instead of the full 6 points for contacts and spies to the pooled backgrounds, commit 3 and see if people are willing to go into the things you would need for the fake hunting operation. You might not need to spend the entire 6 points to, well, get the essentials yourself. That could be a group thing.
So you're telling me to lower my points in spies?
I'm suggesting it because it might be less dangerous than having echoes.
Yep.
Especially
moving to a group.
as, in all honesty, I might suggest that, and you can certainly go for this. I will happily look up the rules on the lane and changelings and screw you with those as well, but having spies in the local werewolf or vampire establishments could be good. Instead,
I mean, you can divide your spies
Move on
up,
to the other
can't you?
people. Move on to the other people while I think of things.
okay. Let's see. Naxi is 2, maybe 4. Jacklor's 3, Crafts 2, and Allieds 2 up to maybe 4. So that is a total of 9 points up to maybe 13. So we're at 9 to 13 currently for pooled.
That's not bad.
Hopeless Fuck-Ups Craft is your cabal name. That is literally what your cabal is
No.
called.
I do not accept this name. I veto.
And that's why you have the Dark Fate flaw.
Does he actually have the Dark Faith law? Just...
By now, yes, he's been backtalking me long enough.
Damn it,
Do I get
Kraft.
any points?
You're aware that if you, by giving me the Dark Faith flaw, you're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah, that's true.
So... no.
Yeah, I know.
The magical
For a
friends.
reason.
None of you are friends.
We're
I'm the
friends.
witch.
You are the people that the werewolf creeps up with his pups to the edge of the forest to see, so the pups know not to go near you. And then he whispers
they
to
don't
the
know.
pups, mages are enemies, not friends.
They say that, my fucking retarded ass is fucking rolling around in the dirt with one. Yeah, it's so adorable.
Shifts to Krydos, chops down. My arm now, let's play fetch!
Fucking rip it off. I can always fucking get a new one as I'm like bleeding out.
Heal you. It'll be vulgar, but I can heal you. So,
Okay,
what are we going to place our pool backgrounds in?
yes, I believe the original idea was to have some sort of an organization for hunting supernaturals and melting them into quintessence.
I
Oh,
don't,
yes,
think
of
that,
course.
I don't think that works at this point, to be honest.
Why not?
One, because Jack is a fucking pussy suddenly, and two, there's a lot more people around us than there should be.
We can fix that.
I mean, it's
Without
not like
drawing
there's a city of in the excess of 1,300,000 miles or 300 kilometers into Bolivia, and maybe 1,000,000 people scattered through, well, 1.5 million scattered through various cities and villages 200 kilometers in the other direction. And you're among a village that's right on top of the werewolves, more or less. Not really, but close enough to be troublesome.
That's why we're going to talk with the werewolves first. Can we like pick up a background for allies in werewolves?
I think that's a merit. That's. In this political climate, it's not gonna be cheap to have friends among them.
But yeah, we'll probably want to have resources 5.
Here's my question. If we have resources 5, how are we gonna get those resources?
I mean, the cartel bosses are gonna have Swiss bank accounts, right?
Yeah, but can they just like where do we have an ATM in this fucking town?
This isn't a town. Do you see the houses at the edges of this picture? There's like
As I
2
said.
streets and 1 intersection.
How would we get our resources unless we showed up with a fucking like literally a bag of holding with all of our money in it?
Why couldn't we do that?
I'm just saying,
Hey,
like,
did we look
I don't
at
think
these?
resources would work.
Resources 5 would be allow us to possibly restore the fort. That would go a long way to securing the place.
Again, if you're bringing a lot of money through here and major construction project, the cartel is gonna steal a fuck ton of it, and the werewolves, when they see heavy machinery rolling into the forest, yet again, are gonna assume the worst.
We talked to the werewolves before we do it.
You could,
No,
but
we're obviously Pentex.
I've seen concrete tankers. It was when Pentex came over here. Concrete tankers mean Pentex.
Yes. Of course.
Look, we got to make the industrialization a slow effort here, otherwise it's going to draw attention.
Yeah, exactly. We can make it slow. We don't need to spend like all our money at this.
Which is why I'm
No.
saying, like,
No, kill the birds. Kill the birds. We might want to put like 5 dots into containers just to have people have meat
well,
shields.
even, yet again, you're now having a bunch of non-native fucking Brazilians showing up with a bunch of other fucking non-Brazilian people and going to this fucking spooky fortress.
Guys, you don't see the birds, but they're coming for us.
Oh, birds don't.
Oh, they faded into the night once again.
Birds don't exist. It's fine. But no, seriously though, like, there's no like a bunch of just random Brazilians showing up. That's a fucking red flag. A bunch of money suddenly showing up. That's also a red flag.
Especially as Ben does have stuff built around the cult, so that's already gonna
Okay,
be
okay, we
noticed.
dig a tunnel. We dig a tunnel to the fort. That way no one sees
What?
us.
Where?
Bolivia!
We dig a tunnel. That way nobody can see us come to the fort. And then we come up in the center.
We've probably run into a fucking cartel drug tunnel, to be honest.
Is anybody taking correspondence 5 and like matter 2?
I'm not taking matter 2, but I'm taking correspondence 5.
Uh-huh.
Or 4, and then I'm gonna
Wait
get
a second,
5.
we could just teleport into it.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can just build a fucking tele.
No, let's just teleport into a random location we've never been before, guys.
No, no, look. We go there, we buy an apartment, and then we have a door in the apartment that leads
Perfect, crap!
towards. Why not?
No, crap. What apartment?
We need like resources 1 to buy an apartment there, or like a house there. Doesn't matter. It's a village, right? It's a house, okay, not an apartment. I'm sorry.
And crap. Never go to the wrong side of town.
I mean, I think for craft, any side of town might be the wrong side at this point.
Fair enough.
They practice martial arts in Brazil. Fuck you. I can get a job.
It's not.
I'm a
They would
foreign
probably
instructor
want-
here.
We probably like. Do you guys actually have any things you want to invest in other than?
Weapons, actually.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I need a sword, I guess.
need a
You
sword.
will have the basic tools for your stuff, and I'll let each of you have one basic customized / individualized tool. So
Okay.
you can have a sword that's right for just for you. If that's what you choose as your custom thing.
Resources
Okay,
to
yeah, I think I will.
resources to it probably work if we had
I
ties
only
to the
resources
drug,
too.
to the well,
There
no,
only
to
be
the cartel that was here. But that opens a whole nother can of worms.
You know, just so everyone can see this, Naxi does have that, but Earthbound.
Yeah, but it's not a malefactor. It's what, a devil?
No, I'm just throwing that out there. Just so you know
Does
it's
it
there.
have lore of portals?
Yeah,
No,
it's nice.
not that you know of.
We only know about fire and commands.
Have you decided on the 5 commands binding it, Yaxi?
Three
Three.
standing
Not
orders.
quite yet.
Only 3? Rip.
Bacon says that building a river near a large river is a great idea, and he has seen many Brazilians try it with great success.
Where is he fucking sassing us from right now?
Twitch chat.
Who is sassing us?
Oh, is the Kill Whip bacon? Kill Whip.
The fuck are they even saying?
Someone just needs Prime 3. Some corresponds to me. I mean, I'm gonna have Prime 3.
I have Prime 3 as well.
I'm gonna have fucking like 2 things. That's it. They took it to him.
Are you just typing this shit out in fucking parallel?
What?
Play by post, I mean. Never mind. So, backgrounds. Do we have an idea as to what you want?
Here's a question: can we have ties to the cartel if we have resources? Or would you have to have us put points into fucking influence with them to be able to do that?
It depends on what kind of relationship it is, honestly. Generally speaking, it would be a matter of what your anchor is and what you want. Like, you could have contacts with them relatively easily. But if you
Yeah.
wanted to actually have enough pull to not be fucked with, you probably want several dots of influence with them.
So influence 5, resources 5.
You should also get like
That's quite
A
concentration.
dot of arsenal.
Well, no, that we won't have. That's 10 points already,
We have
and that's
11.
if every.
I mean, we won't need Arsenal if we have influence in the cartel. We can get Arsenal from them.
What about spies among supernaturals, though?
You
Yeah.
could put like 4 into
What about
spies.
spies in general? Those are useful.
I think we should have supernatural spies.
Well, you have between 11 and 15 points to work with for pulled stuff.
4 influence, 4 resources, 2 arsenal. No, wait, 1 arsenal and 2 spies.
Spies
That's
in
like
which
what?
group?
It's like what? 3 spies.
I'm gonna look up where the spy background is. Does anyone have a page for that, actually? Do you have spies open, anyone?
No.
Nope.
Not open, but background starts around 300, I think.
Okay. I'm gonna scroll down to it. I think spies started with essentially having spies in more mortal areas, and you needed like 3 or 4 to have.
3 to have any spies in a supernatural area.
It actually says that outright.
No,
Yeah.
but it's what it implies.
Then that's what we're gonna go with.
I feel like a spy with the vampires is better than a spy with the werewolves, and like allies with the werewolves or contacts with the werewolves is good.
Like I said, Craft, allies with the werewolves are gonna cost you an arm and a leg in this one.
It is, isn't it? Like 5 freebies.
Well, yeah, that
Something.
is an arm and a leg. You won't be able to buy it like a basic
Spy.
background thing. You would having a werewolf friend is gonna require.
A supernatural friend, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick, spend all our points on
Supernatural
Black
friend,
Spiral
right?
Dancer werewolf friends. It's the only way.
Yeah,
The
3
normal
dots
allies
and
background
spies.
is other mages.
3 dots and spies is like 1 or 2 in a supernatural area, while 4 is a handful. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't get supernatural spies until 3.
That
could
is reasonable. We can go with that.
Is 4?
So what if we dropped resources down to 3? We could have 3 spies then.
Why
You
would
have
we
1 or
need
2
to drop
people.
that? We have 11 to 15.
What?
Points spent 11 to 15.
It's also a question of what you're going to use as your anchor. What's going to be the foundation of your little organization? Resources?
Probably influence.
Influence?
Probably.
Probably the dead bodies.
But
What? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay, so I think we've run into kind of a dead end here. So why don't we essentially... We have a basic idea what you want. We have an idea what you want to accomplish with it, at least vaguely. So why don't we
Yeah.
call it here for the week? Next week we finish the rest of the characters, polish off all the details, and then we finish off the group backgrounds. Once everyone knows specifically how much they're willing to commit, and we can just... The people who are willing to can adjust up a point or two here and there, or down a point or two, and make sure you have exactly enough. So, any questions about things you would know about the Earthbound, about the fort, about anything that hasn't been mentioned, anything that you have that you would address at me?
What do the other party know? What do the other mages know of the Earthbound that we have? That what's Nexus character's name again? As
Um, uh, you know, we're gonna say that it was something that came into your possession as a trinket that radiates some kind of power from the old high mythic ages, but which is essentially a Elrum and memento that's useless. Until it started speaking to you.
Also, it's like my avatar. I understand now.
Sure.
why are you like this, Yaxi?
You know, the first thing you probably felt was it trying to slam against the walls of your mind and take you over, and then you fought it down and figured out how to reinforce the wardings and forced it to serve you. Truly, you are a most excellent hermetic mage.
Yeah, sounds kind of like a seeking to me.
so we're done here.
I think so. Unless anyone has any more questions.
Nope.
No?
Not today, anyway.
Okay, then let's leave it till next week and continue this nightmare then.
Okay.
Yeah, let us.